half and thinking that Caleb Williams was doing very well. I'm pretty sure he completed his first 10 passes. At that point, it looked to me that he was making the leap from rookie to second-year quarterback. The Bears at that point were comfortably ahead. When they got the pick six, I thought they would win the game comfortably, but Caleb Williams did not have a good second half at all. He missed wide open targets. He probably held the ball a little bit too long. So I watched with interest today, as you did as well, the morning shows. And I heard a sort of a consensus among football players, former football players, that Caleb Williams in the second half reverted to what he was doing last year. And so I thought to myself, well, wait a second. He was the #1 overall pick in the draft. If you're telling me there's a book on Caleb Williams and last year wasn't good and he reverted to that this year, then I would think maybe you have to wonder, if you're a Bears fan, is he indeed the great quarterback going forward? But like you, Mike, I don't want to make a judgment after one game with a rookie coach with a brand new system. I just wonder if anybody's saying, we could have taken Jayden Daniels.
No,
we could have done that.
We're not saying
and we didn't
that.
do that.
We're not saying that. He's got to be deprogrammed from the Eberflus era first, Tony, and then Ben Johnson. Let me just mention this, and you're familiar with both these people, because when you used to travel, you were there in their faces on Sunday after their games. I'll mention two coaches and their starts. A guy named Joseph Gibbs went 0-5 in his first year on the way to four Super Bowls, 3 of them victorious. And a guy named Bill Walsh went 0-7 on his way to 3 Super Bowls, and I don't think he lost any. So I know it's tough to put Ben Johnson in that category just yet. All I'm saying, it takes time is my point. It takes, and by the way, it's not just Caleb. The defense got shoved and hit in the mouth in the fourth quarter. They couldn't stop a nosebleed in the fourth quarter. So, that group has a lot to worry about, too, just as much as Caleb. Let's move quickly to J.J. McCarthy. At least he's a good son of Chicago. In his first ever NFL start after missing all of last season, playing in his hometown, the Vikings quarterback struggled in the first half, but down the stretch, particularly in the fourth quarter, McCarthy threw 2 touchdowns, ran for another, got the team, the Vikes, a win. Tony, what does last night tell you about McCarthy specifically, easy for me to say, and the Vikes?
Okay, so Minnesota was a good team last year. They were a playoff team last year. They must think that this kid is very special because they let their quarterback, Sam Darnold, walk. They let him walk. And they handed the team over to a kid who had never played a single down in the NFL. In the first half, his first half was no better than Caleb Williams' second half. It wasn't. But really late in the game, fourth quarter, he was great. As you say, passing touchdown, rushing touchdown. He won the game. Caleb Williams is at home in a division game with a big lead, and he couldn't close. J.J. McCarthy closed that game out. I watched him in Michigan, Mike. I was never really wowed.
Never.
I didn't think he was as good as Caleb Williams. I didn't think he was as good as Jayden Daniels. I didn't think he was as good as Bo Nix. I did not. But he does't lose games. He's now, it's only one game in the NFL, but college in the NFL, his record is 28-1. It's 64-3, I believe, if you add his high school time in the Chicago area. So that reminds me, Mike, honestly, of Jalen Hurts. Not a flashy arm, not great statistics, not anything where you go crazy, but he wins all the time. And wouldn't you rather have the W?
Tony, yes. And I'll tell you what else impressed me most about J.J. McCarthy was his calm. You throw that pick six, and a lot of guys fall apart at that point. And he didn't. The evidence is that he didn't. There was immediate evidence as he went up and down talking to players. It was great. Jeff Saturday said, I think this morning, that, a lot of times linemen, you don't want to see. No, Troy Aikman said this last night. Linemen don't want to see you after you have thrown a pick six telling them to calm down, it's going to be all right. So it was a great point. He was calm. There was a poise about him. He is clearly well coached and was well coached in his redshirt year. See, Caleb Williams didn't have that. So in a way, J.J. McCarthy's got an advantage. McCarthy was well coached last year in prep for this season. Caleb Williams starting over, and last night was his debut in many ways as well. But J.J. McCarthy's got an edge there. The Vikings weren't just good last year. The Vikings won 14 games last year.
Yeah, this is an important point to make. J.J. McCarthy didn't join a team that had just lost 12 games.
That's right.
He joined a good team. He joined a coach who is now, let me get the number, 27-9 in one-score games. That is a tremendous record. And he became, look, it could fall apart next week, but he became the first guy to, in his rookie debut at quarterback, win a game by being down 10 or more in the fourth quarter. The first guy to do that since Steve Young in 1984.
40 years
Come
ago.
on, let's move.
Wow.
Yeah, let's move to baseball. And the bizarre coincidence of Dodgers pitchers taking a no-hitter into the ninth inning in 2 games of their last 3. The first one they lost with 2 outs in the ninth. They lost Yamamoto's no-hitter, then lost the game to Baltimore. Last night, Tyler Glasnow carried a no-hitter through 7. The bullpen held it through 8, then gave up a leadoff double in the ninth to Colorado, but they won the game. Wilbon, this maintains the Dodgers' 1-game divisional lead over the Padres, who won last night in 10. What, if anything, is truly at stake in the race for the NL West?
Well, Tony, it entirely depends on how you look at it. And because this involves my Cubbies, I have skin in the game. And when I'm angry because they've lost or the Bears have lost, I stay up and watch the Padres and Dodgers, even when the games are all the way west. And what is at stake here is the wild card team, the second-place finisher, is likely to have to play 3 games at Wrigley in the playoffs to start the playoffs, while the division winner gets a bye. Now, I would like to see my team I'm okay with the wild card. They're not going to catch Milwaukee, and having 3 games at Wrigley in the bye is fine. Keep playing, because the team with the bye doesn't always get it done. But the Dodgers are equipped. I don't want my team there because I don't think they're ready for the pressure of division winner expectations. You guys are supposed to move on. The Cubs aren't ready for that. The Dodgers are. I don't think the Padres are ready for that either. So, therefore, I'd like to see the Padres in that 3-game series in Chicago if it goes 3. But I think the Dodgers should hold on to first place. That's what's at stake.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so involved in that division race that it matters to me that much. The Dodgers are going to make the playoffs. The Padres are going to make the playoffs. The Giants may make the playoffs from that same division. And what's great as a fan is that the Padres and the Dodgers absolutely hate each other. And that's good. But, the Padres are a really good team. I just want to step back and say this one thing to you. Yamamoto and Glasnow gave up 1 hit in 15 2/3 innings. Is that something I could interest you in? Because the Dodgers can hit. Everybody knows the Dodgers can hit. They're second in runs in the National League to the Brewers. They're first in OPS. They're first in home runs. But what if they can pitch? Mike, I think if they're starting pitching, and it would include those two, it would include Ohtani, and it would include Clayton Kershaw. If they pitch, I think they repeat as World Series champions. I do.
Well, Tony, they've had a lot of injuries, and it's interesting to see if people can hold up all year. And I do watch the Dodgers closely, and I love that division largely because of what you just talked about. The Dodgers and Padres hate each other, and it is theater.
Yes.
Now, I don't want to see them both advance. I want to see one of them go out in the first round, obviously. But, Tony, it's fascinating. There is something at stake, and the approach, what they